Welcome to Color Commentary, a podcast where the stories shaping our world are told in black and white first, and then we dig into the deeper meaning in full color. Each week, I'll be bringing you the news like this. First, we'll start with what I like to call the black and white section, a clear, straight shooting rundown of the facts, in a tradition of grace like Ed Bradley, Walter Cronkite, and the classic voices of journalism. Then we'll shift in the Color Commentary section where I have my own personal opinions and insights. Sometimes it'll just be me. Sometimes we'll have guests. Sometimes we'll have my incredible producer chime in. But let's figure that out together, exactly what we want this show to be, with your feedback helping shape that journey. Let's get into it. Okay, so we're back, and today we have a full episode, but I want to revisit the BAFTA conversation at least one more time because the comments have not stopped coming in, and there's one more thing I need to say. Then we're just going to walk through all 10 Best Picture nominees ahead of the Oscars this Sunday. What they are, whether I've seen them, what I actually think. I'll be honest about which ones I've seen and which ones I haven't, and which ones I had, I had to walk away from just for the moment. And I just really love movies, and this episode, that episode where we initially talked about the Baptists, is blown up, and I'm still fielding commentary. So let's get into it. On February 22nd at the 79th BAFTA Film Awards in London, Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Lindo were presented on stage when a man from the audience with Tourette's syndrome, John Davison, had an involuntary vocal tic that included, I don't say the N-word, it included the word nigga. BAFTAs, and I'm just giving you all an update just in case you missed it, right? BAFTA and the BBC both issued formal apologies. Lindo said publicly he wished someone from the BAFTAs had spoken to them afterwards. The BBC broadcast aired on a 2-hour tape delay. I cannot stress this enough. During that same broadcast, the phrase "Free Palestine" spoken during the ceremony was edited out. The N-word was not. The incident has continued generating public debate, though, including in the comments of this very show. So specifically around the question of who bears responsibility, who deserves empathy, and what we ask Black people to absorb in public spaces. So let's just get into it, okay? So I call it the Oscar 10. The 98th Academy Awards air Sunday, March 15th, and is going to be hosted by Conan O'Brien at the Dolby Theater in LA. Here are the 10 Best Picture nominees, okay? Sinners, directed by Ryan Coogler, stars Michael B. Jordan as his twin brothers, Smoke and Stack. And they're the ones that had the record-breaking 16 Oscar nominations. Also, point of order real quick. You might hear, I don't know, the mics are really good, so it might not pick up the extra noise. I'm in the Midwest. We have a crazy storm that's happening. It is a cacophony of multiple thunderstorms at the same time, tornado warnings, flooding. So I'm just keeping an eye out on things, but it's quite interesting. I would definitely say it's quite interesting. But here are the movies. I just talked about Sinners. Then you got One Battle After Another. After that, Marty Supreme, Frankenstein, F1 the movie, Begonia, Hamnet, The Secret Agent, Sentimental Value, and Train Dreams. All right. That's the news. I want to talk about it because, again, I just have been loving movies. I've been loving the dialogue and commentary around these movies. And I want to continue to have that time. I want to continue having a good time with it. And then this thing with the Baptists came, and it's always something. Something definitely happens. It's, it's a thing. So let's go into this color commentary. Okay. The BAFTAs at one last time. The comments on the last 2 episodes have been rolling in, and I want to engage one argument directly before I close this chapter. Someone in my comments made the case that nobody should be offended by something that comes from a disability. The comparison that this woman made, they use a person who is in a wheelchair, suggesting that being offended by an involuntary tic is equivalent to being upset that someone in a wheelchair can't give you a standing ovation. And I want to address that directly because that is an incredibly false equivalence, and it just deserves a real response. 2 things can be true at the same time. 2 things can be true at the exact same time. I want to get into this. Let's get comfortable. John Davison has a disability. His tics are involuntary. I have said this on that show multiple times, and I mean that. I'm not really having a lot of issue with him, the man. I wanted to just say that. And because two things can be true at the same time, and two black men can still be offended when they get called nigga on the biggest stage of their career. Both of those things are simultaneously true. One does not erase the other. And we had a beautiful, just the loud roar and crack of thunder right at that moment, okay? One does not erase the other. A disability explains the cause. It does not eliminate the impact. Those are two different conversations. Now, here's the detail that settles the institutional question for me, all right? The BBC had a 2-hour tape delay. And in that same broadcast, they edited out the phrase Free Palestine before it aired. They had the technology. They had the time, and they made a choice. And they protected the broadcast from one phrase and not the other. You tell me what that says about whose comfort that institution was built to protect. Tell me. I want the comments to keep coming. I will make sure this gets clipped so we can keep this conversation going. The comments also push back on the empathy question. And I'll be direct. Them two brothers were the epitome of class. Listen, man, I'm going to say this again. On the biggest night of their collective careers, Delroy Lindo especially after all the snubs, all the hard work, never getting his due, never getting the right pay, being overlooked year in and year out for awards that he should have been housing, should have won, Defy Bloods by itself, okay? This man has been nothing but class his entire career. They get called a nigger in front of the entire world. And the expectation from some corners is that they remain gentlemen, stay composed, and move on, which they did, by the way. So I just ask out loud to that commenter, where's the empathy for them? Listen, also, I don't have an issue, but I think some of these details are important. It was a white lady that was in the comments, and this just continued to miss her, okay? So I'm going to close with something that I said in my own comments, and I just want to say again on this microphone. You get to have your opinion, but recognize that you are talking to a black man about how black men should feel about being called nigga on the world stage. I'm hella offended for them. And I'm not even offended by just the word. I'm offended by this expectation of grace from these men, that they just not supposed to have no kind of feelings about it. And that this other man is like this crazy victim. Now, it's unfortunate, but he is going to be okay. Again, some people might have had reservations, and some people make jokes, and some people acknowledged it, but ain't nobody threatening that man. Ain't nobody, that man's going to be fine. He is going to be fine. He's going to be fine. And I'm offended for them. And I get to be. And this, I want to say this the last time I'm addressing this BAFTA incident on the show. The Oscars are Sunday. Sinners is having a moment. I'm going to try to move forward. But fuck that. If there's more smoke that comes around this, I'm with it. I am with it. I'm with it. I am so with it. Okay? Moving forward. Now that I got that out of my system, the Oscar 10. I'm going to be straight with you about what I've seen and what I haven't. And I'm going to riff on these. Let's start with what I know. Okay? These are the films that I have seen. And I want to name them, and I'll just go in order. I was going to just name all of them and then give my thoughts, but I'm just going to lay it out. Okay, first we got Sinners. I've covered this movie wall to wall on this show. I'm from Oakland. You know, Ryan Coogler, I'm rocking with him, man. Michael B. Jordan, I'm rocking with him. Michael B. Jordan's playing two characters. By the way, shouldn't, if you play two characters where somebody else could have played the other character and you're essentially doing extra work because you have to do all the lines that they would have if another person played it, plus you have to do hours and hours of makeup and all kind of special shit, shouldn't that person probably get double pay? What does SAG say about that? Like I feel like Eddie Murphy, I feel like it Michael B. Jordan in this moment, because again, he's playing these people straight up. Like they're like, I know Tom Hardy has done that before too, like playing two people straight up. Anyway, let me not get distracted. I love this movie. I have seen it. This is the film of the year for me, for a bunch of reasons. And listen, I don't think people are bad or something if they don't love that movie. It's a movie. You get to think that. I think we taking shit way too seriously. Like, and I get the identity politics of it all, but like Sinners accomplished so many different things. And I think cinematically, I think it was great. And I'm hearing a lot of critics talk about it. Like, it's an okay movie. Yeah. They talk about Sinners how I talk about One Battle After Another. Okay. So I think it is my pick for movie of the year. I don't know if it will get it. I don't really think it will get it. I don't know. Maybe should I put a bet in on Cashy? I don't know. I don't know. I don't get paid from them. I'm not really promoting gambling to other people. I'm just wondering if I should do it. But I love that movie. I love what it's done for those people. And I just love the story. I wish, well, I don't know. I don't know. Because I don't want Warner's to bleed this movie dry. They own it for X amount of years, so I know they're gonna probably it's a cash machine. So they're probably gonna do some type of sequel or prequel. If they did do a prequel, you could do a really good prequel about the Smokestack twins. You can do a whole thing on that first half. You can do the stuff with they're in Chicago, and then even what their life was back home, and even like just living in that town more. You don't even have to have a hint of vampire. Or you can do that and have, I don't know. But it was just telling a great story, man. I love the cinematography. I love the whole thing. It is what it is. Second movie, One Battle After Another. I saw this. It's Paul Thomas Anderson. It's Leonardo DiCaprio as a former revolutionary whose past catches up with him. It is a front runner for Best Picture. And it has had a dominant award season. Golden Globes, Producers Guild, Directors Guild. I have a feeling. I have feelings about whether it should be Sinners. I don't think that it should. I think that the movie had a lot of bright spots. I love the looks that a lot of people got. I think Tiana Taylor is a star. I think she is going to be a star. I think she is a star, but it's going to keep and continue coming. And I'm very... Would I be mad if it won? I guess is the question. I don't know if it could be mad. I don't know if I could be mad that if it wins, because it is a favorite. Again, I think that a lot at the beginning of this award season, it was kind of the showdown between Leonardo DiCaprio and Timothée Chalamet for Best Male Actor and Best Male Performance. And again, shout out to Michael B. Jordan for stealing that just recently, which was huge. It was really, really huge. I don't love the movie, man. I think it's so overrated. But I will say this. Sean Penn, that's locked up. It's locked up. It's locked up. I mean, I ain't seen him go like that hard since like Milk. Bro went hard. He was acting. I don't think it's one of Leo. I don't like Leo in that movie. I respect Leo, man. I love Leo. I don't love that movie. I'm going to have to watch it again. It's not a bad movie. I liked pieces of it. I think Chase Infinity is going to do great. I love seeing her get shine. I think her character made a lot of key mistakes and got Regina Hall, you know what I'm saying, messed up. She just told you to get rid of your phone and you wanted to be a teenager and keep, I guess you were a teenager in the movie. So I didn't like it. I didn't love it. Don't hate it. I just don't think it should win. Which brings me to number 3, Marty Supreme, which I have seen. Timothée Chalamet, table tennis. He won the Golden Globe for this. Michael B. Jordan beat him at the Actor Awards, and the internet nearly broke. And it's an interesting showdown. It's going to be very interesting. And I love how cordial they are with each other. You could tell that they seem to get along. I think Timothée Chalamet, I think Hollywood is opening the door and laying at his teat. I think he's going to have so many opportunities. I don't know how many times Michael B. Jordan's going to get this look. I hope it's a lot. I think it was the best acting job homie did. I think, but Timothée Chalamet is a star. He is a star. I don't know how mad I could be if that won or if Timothy won Best Actor. Look, homie, you made a movie about table tennis popular, bruh, even though it didn't do well at the box office. Neither did one battle after another. And it's funny how once a black movie gets introduced and we're talking about like, and they have sales, because that's usually the thing is that black movies can't sell, and then you blow all of them out the water. Now don't nobody want to talk about the money, but they wanted to talk about the money the first week. When they thought it was a bust and they thought it was a terrible deal. I keep talking about Sinners, don't I? I just did it again, didn't I? God damn it. Bad Charles. Bad Charles. Frankenstein. Guillermo del Toro. Oscar Isaac as Frankenstein. Jacob Elordi as the creature. I didn't know Jacob Elordi was that tall. He is really, really, really tall. I have seen this one. Del Toro is one of the best visual directors alive. And this is his full Gothic vision. And listening to him talk about the movie and what Frankenstein and Pinocchio meant to him, because I used to wonder, like, what, like, why those two movies? The type of movies you tend to do. But he talked about how those movies guided him as a child and how he wanted to have his own interpretation of it. And that he did. He strayed away in a lot of different ways. I loved Frankenstein. I had such a ball, such a good time with it. It was such a fun movie. And the retelling of the story, the reimagining, telling the story from both Dr. Frankenstein's perspective and the monster's perspective was really cool. And, you know, the premise of the movie is it's a deeper meaning. Like, I love stories like this that can stand the test of time. And also, Mary Shelley was a fucking teenager when she wrote this. Like, there are two people. Don't tell me what young people can't do, because I'm going to give you these two names all the time, okay? It's fucking Nas, who wrote Illmatic at 17 and recorded at 18 and came out at 19 around that time. And Mary Shelley and Frankenstein and her catalog, which she started writing as a teen. And for her to take these themes that's so young around and the duality of humanity and the wanting to play God and also being something that was created that you didn't ask to be created, but now you're trying to find your place in life. I'm just thoroughly impressed. And I think the movie was able to capture that. It was able to capture that duality and what happens when we try to play God. And even like the closure between the monster, between the creature and the doctor, and who is the real monster, right? I think it's a beautiful story. And I think Guillermo del Toro, if you let him play with creatures, he's just gonna do his thing. He is a child in a old school KB Toys, the Toys R Us. I think both of those are closed now. I'm old as shit. Also, I'm filming this right now. Bam Adebayo just scored 83 points while I'm filming this. He just scored 83 points. It was the Wizards, but 83 points is 83 points. It's a lot going on today between the late start, these storms, Bam Adebayo hitting 83, and these people still trying to be on my head about my pushback about the BAFTAs. this is what the pod was made for. We are here, baby. We have arrived. Damn it. And then we got F1. It's Brad Pitt. It's Formula One. It's the same director as Top Gun Maverick. I have seen it. I love this movie. I had a great time with this movie. This movie was so fun. I have my little makeshift theater downstairs. I love watching that movie cranked up like it's a Marvel movie. The whole room shakes. It is so much fun. Movie of the year honors? You got to get up out of here with that. I don't know about that. We don't know about that, but it's such a fun movie. I'm surprised Tom Cruise didn't fight Brad Pitt for that movie. I'm sure he wanted to. Is it better than Days of Thunder? I don't know, but I know the movie's fun. And like all Apple movies, it has this gloss to it. I like that gloss. Some people don't. I love the way Apple movies and Apple shows look. So, you know, you can call me biased, but you can tell it's distinct. It's very distinct. And Begonia. I watched Begonia. Emma Stone. The actors in it are incredible. Emma Stone is a beast. The woman can act. She's just good. What? Can Emma Stone just play regular characters again? Look, I know Pretty Things got her a lot of awards, and this is going to get her a lot of awards. Has gotten her a lot of awards, man. I watched it. It wasn't really for me. Like I can see the appeal. Like if you into like those type of movies, they was all weird to me, and I didn't care about none of them. Like I didn't, you know, the movie is she an alien? These people, these two dudes that are, you know, not all the way there, think she might be, and it's just really about that. And this takes place in his basement, in her office. I listen, I'm not trying to be disrespectful because I really do respect the movie. But ain't this shit supposed to be about enjoying movies too? Did you really enjoy Begonia? I mean, listen, I'm not judging if you did. I just need somebody that enjoyed it to really talk to me. I'll go look. It's one of those movies where you recognize the brilliance of it, but it's like, I don't know if I need to see that again. And I don't know if it should win all these awards. But hell, if y'all gonna keep making Emma Stone ugly and she gonna keep doing it, hey man, God bless. Get do your thing. Now, I have to be honest, here's one that I started and did not finish. Hamnet. Chloe Zhao. And here's the thing. I am one of the people that actually really, really enjoyed Chloe Zhao coming to the MCU. I really like that movie. I like the Eternals, man. I had a good time with the Eternals. I wanted to keep going. I think she brought a level of maturity to the MCU. I think that it explores some stuff. You know, it's one of the first MCU movies where people are clearly knocking boots. It was trying to, bring Marvel into kind of prestige movie a little bit. And I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. It was just a lot of characters, I think, for people to keep on, but I loved it. Hamnet, I started it, and I just didn't finish it. I'm going to watch it. I'm going to watch it and finish it. I hear Jessie Buckley is a revelation in that movie. So I want to see it. It might fall into the begonias, or one battle after another space of like, I can see the greatness in it. I may not personally love it, but I appreciate it as an art form. So I'm going to watch it. I just didn't feel like being that fucking depressed, man. It's a depressing movie, man. Okay? Like, you can read the letterboxes. Like, it's a very depressing movie. I don't know if I feel like being depressed right now. I just told you all the shit that was happening in my orbit. And hopefully... Ooh, sorry, microphone. If y'all was listening, hopefully I didn't boom in your ear. hopefully I can get through this whole thing before power gives out. And then, knock on wood, we hope that doesn't happen. But like I said, I'm going to watch it. I'm gonna finish it before Sunday, and we're gonna see how it goes, man. Now, here's some films I didn't see. This first one I'm very, very excited to see. It's The Secret Agent. I love Brazilian film and cinema. I love Brazil. Brazil is one of my favorite countries. I love the history. I grew up loving the history of Medellin, and I'm like any other boy that grew up reading about hearing about these people, hearing about cocaine trades and all that stuff. So and then one of my favorite movies of all time is City of God, which is also in the favelas of Brazil. I love Brazil movies, and so this movie has Wagner Moura. He was in Narcos. He's a professor that's navigating some political danger in 1977 fascist Brazil, and it looks pretty good, and it's now on Hulu and Disney Plus. So I gotta check it out. Man. I'm with it. Sentimental Value. It's a Norwegian film about a father and daughter rebuilding their relationship. Stellan Skarsgård. This other lady has my mother's name, Renata Rensby. I might say that wrong. And Elle Fanning. And I am, both of these women are nominated for Best Supporting Actress. I look forward to watching it. I am a Skarsgård family fan. I like seeing talented families. I like seeing talented people. And honestly, the Skarsgårds, they don't miss to me. They really don't. I'm coming off of it, and just what the younger Skarsgård was able to do with Bill. It's so crazy. It was so good. It was so good. And they get it from their daddy, he's just stellar. He is incredible. He's incredible. So, and then the final one, which I also heard is also a very depressing movie. Train Dreams is based on a Dennis Johnson novella. Joe Edgerton as a railroad worker in the early 20th century. It's nominated for Best Cinematography and Best Adapted Screenplay. I have not seen it. It's on Netflix now. I don't have a lot around this, like I said, I heard that it also might be, pretty depressing. I'm not sure. I get Grapes of Wrath vibes, but I'm not really sure. But I'm with this stuff coming up Sunday, after this, we'll get back to our regularly scheduled program. And if my guys win, I gotta talk about it. But I do just appreciate though, right? Like that I like some eclectic things, some different things. And I did not know that these would be the most. I just didn't know. I didn't know these topics would be the ones that give me all the love. Yeah, I didn't know that I would find my tribe. And like I said, I love watching movie TikTok, and movie YouTube. I got a few favorite shows. Midnight Boys, shout out to y'all. I love the Midnight Boys. I enjoy their podcast. Movie Fights came back. I don't know if you've ever watched Movie Fights. They went on hiatus for a bevy of reasons, but very glad that they came back. I like Screen Junkies. I like all the video essay, the movie essay stuff. And I like it too because I like talking about it because I didn't go to film school. A lot of people that do those shows have gone to film school. They're directors, like I like Jeremy Johns. I like all those people. I really do. I like watching them. I like the ones that love Marvel and the ones that hate Marvel. But it's the stuff that I play in the background. So I like being able to talk about this stuff in a way that I consume it, in a way that I talk about it. I don't know how to make a movie. I'm not looking at it from that way. I'm not looking at the super technical pieces like that. I just genuinely appreciate it and like it. And so, and I like talking about the smart stuff and what's going on in the world and education and my work. And, we have a new institution that I'm building and doing a big show on. We are hosting Dr. Howard Fuller, who is special advisor to me, the CEO of the Agentic Institute, which also houses Energy Converters, the organization that I run. And, on the 18th, we're doing a big event with him. So I like talking about that stuff. And if you follow my socials, you see me promoting that crazy. If you want to go watch, if you want to come and be a part of that, on any of my socials, you can sign up for the Eventbrite. We have a lot of RSVPs already. It's going to be virtual, but he, somebody who loves movies, he just had his documentary come out on PBS, and I'm so honored to know the man, to learn from the man, and all that stuff. And normally that's what I would be promoting. I've been promoting it crazy. We got a good number. I really wanted to just talk about, the Oscars coming up. I'm really excited about it. I'm tonight has been a big night. Had this Bam Out of Bayou stuff happen earlier, I would riff more. But as I close, I just thank y'all. I appreciate it. And I appreciate the comments. I didn't say the lady's name that made the comments because I don't want her attacked. And this is the thing. I don't think she's racist. I don't think, any of that stuff. I just want to be very clear on that stuff. And I want the conversation. We could disagree. And again, somebody not understanding all the context and nuances of race does not automatically make them racist. There are other races and cultures that I don't fully understand or may not understand things that they may be upset about or outraged on, or not just races, but different groups. So I can give some grace there. And also, I just think that we are abusing that term. I think we call it, you don't call everything racist, because when real racists show up, you situating them next to things that ain't really that. You can't, don't cry wolf. It always backfires. And I think we live in a time where everything is either, everything is extreme, because that's the only way you can get attention on the internet. And I'm so grateful, and I thank God for this show and for Tommy and for you all, because we don't really do that. We just have conversation. We might be a little animated because that's just my personality. But I just want to save the big threatening terms for the real threats. I think real racism exists, and I think it's still pretty prevalent, but that is for that reason that I don't call everything racist or everyone a racist that does not agree with said thing. I just don't do that. When we talked about real racism, I gave you that in a few episodes about being stopped by the cops. Those are the real ramifications. That could have cost me my life. I don't give a fuck about your opinion about a movie. There's levels to this. And as somebody who studies civil rights and somebody who knows a Dr. Howard Fuller, or somebody, my grandmother is buried in the same cemetery as Emmett Till and Mamie Till, and was friends with Mamie Till. Like, I was born in the same neighborhood as Fred Hampton. I went to Huey P. Newton's, the same elementary school. My first book, Elaine Brown from the Black Panthers, was a big influence and told me that I was writing that book. I was hemming and hawing, and we were talking. She kind of cussed me out and told me to write the book. Like, these people, I cannot do a disservice. We also just lost, Reverend Jesse Jackson, however you feel about him. Like, he put in some work. I can't disrespect those people and their struggles and what they actually seen and the progress that they've made for us by devolving or by not having tough enough skin to discern between actual racism that we need to attack and fix and work on, as opposed to, things that I just may not like. And I think we all should take that tone. I think that part of us being so extreme is part of the reason why this current administration just kind of gets to run rimshot over people, because people are not knowing what to react to, because they react to everything. Can't react to everything that a crazy person says. You become the crazy person. Who's crazy at that point? So I just think that's something to take with you. But I just love the movies, and I love Hoop. And Bam Out of Bayou scoring 83 points tonight. I got to go and watch the clips. I have the game saved. I have, the NBA thing. I pay for it. I'm going to watch that full game again. And, I saw clips. I saw here and there because I was preparing for this and I was working. but I want to sit down and watch it. I'm glad I get to sit and be a part of history. You know, Wilt's 100-point game was not televised, and it makes me want to honor people like Wilt Chamberlain. It makes me want to honor those guys. Bill Russell, also from Oakland, he's a McClymonds legend. 11 championships. However you feel those championships came, 11 championships, player and coach. Like, I want to honor those guys because this sport didn't have to be here, and they did a lot to save it. And then Magic and Larry came in and built another brick. And then Michael Jordan came and just flipped the whole thing. So to be able to see Bam Adebayo do this, I'm interested to watch it again. It's the Wizards, but 83 is 83. And I'm just honored. Before I close this out, and I know this episode was all over the place, but hear me on this. You can choose your mood. Like, you can choose your outlook. Nobody else controls that. And what I mean by that is, if you want to look at the world as super shitty, nothing's going well, it's horrible, it's terrible. Even with this crazy storm, I'm getting such an incredible light show from all this thunder and lightning. Like, you can be upset, and there's reason if you choose to see the world that way. But I also think that there's another way that you can choose to view it. You can choose to focus on the things that you're blessed with. I'm blessed to have a home. Like, I grew up homeless, so I'm blessed to have a home that I own. It ain't much, but it's mine. Everything T's little lights back here, yo, it's mine. And right now I want to make sure it don't flood. I got insurance though, you know, if some lightning do hit, I want to make sure I'm safe. Or the freedom of movement that we have as Black people. Like, there's so much work that still needs to be done. But man, it's come so far. So far. I mean, and I say this with open eyes. I've been the first Black X a few times. Like, the first Black this or the first Black that. That probably shouldn't still be happening in post 2000s. But it is. But I'm able to earn a living. I'm able to run my own company that I started, that I built on a napkin. And that might not be your testimony. I'm just giving you mine. Because you got to look through your eyes and build your own perspective. And I do believe somewhat in the law of attraction. I'm not, I don't do the pseudoscience thing. I try to be a good Baptist. I ain't the best one, but that's, it is what it is. I'm very honest about it. I'm a heathen at times. But I do believe that, from your mouth to God's ear. And I just want to be grateful. I have to think about this in a way. What God wants to continue to bless you if you poo-poo on all the blessings that he gave you. I learned this when I was a little boy. And it was a gift that my grandmother gave me. And I didn't even recognize it, but she gave me something, and she was noticing how I loved the wrapping paper on it. And I was so careful with the wrapping paper. And I took the wrapping paper off and I folded it up, and I took really good care of the wrapping paper. And she said something to me. I don't remember word for word because I was really young. But she was just like, I've never seen anybody be so grateful for something that I gave them. And it makes me want to give you more. And being that I found God in her, and that's the source of, me believing in what I believe in and all that stuff. And then I'm not about to get on here and preach. I'm so not qualified to do that. I think I was cursing up a storm just before this, right? But what I'm saying is, if we made in God's image, and some of the things that we feel, it feels kind of universal. And one of the things that I know a lot of us don't get enough of is appreciation, especially for our deeds, especially when we're trying to look out for people and protect people and love and care for them. And she was so grateful of how grateful I was. Why wouldn't God be the same way? Or maybe you believe in the universe. Why, if you keep complaining and yelling at the universe, I like to say God, but it's 2026. You got to talk to everybody. Do you think it wants to get things better? When you are on the freeway and somebody just sitting there with they hood up and they just sitting there and they look mad and upset, a lot of people gonna pass them up. Maybe a good Samaritan to come by and help them, but a lot more people are gonna pass them up. But when you see somebody out there and their car broke down, but they pushing it, and maybe they got their family in the car, maybe their wife is manning the steering wheel and he's trying to push it. People, I've done it. I will stop, get out their car and help you push, help you get to safety, help you get to where you need to go. People on the freeway, God, the universe, they tend to be more responsive when they see you trying to help yourself. So I'm grateful for the people that watch this show. I'm grateful for the people that argue with me about this show, even that lady that I do not agree with. And I'm grateful for all this stuff, being able to do it. Because 15 years ago, this would have been nearly impossible and super expensive to do. So even if I just stay, some of my clips will do like 2,000, 3,000, 4,000. I'm grateful when it's 20. I'm grateful. So I really want you to be in a conversation with me. I really want to have a conversation with you. So with that said, thank you for listening to Color Commentary. We love to hear from you. So drop us an email at colorcommentarypod@gmail.com. One more time, that's colorcommentarypod@gmail.com. And if you like what you hear, please subscribe to the show. Leave us a 5-star review. Share it on social media and join us every Thursday for more. Y'all be safe. For anybody in the eye of that storm, protect your people. Stay away from the windows. I've never heard them tell people not to walk their dogs, but, just got to just clean the dogs, stuff up in the house tonight if you're in the Midwest. But take care of yourselves. All right, y'all. Peace out. Enjoy the movies, and let me know your thoughts after you watch the Oscars. Did your movies win? Let me know. Peace.